Okay, another living room lecture video here on Course in Miracles material. This is kind of like part 2 about guidance, and I went through the different spiritual maturities that we go through, where at first we think that we are separate from Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and we are asking them to see through their eyes, to be able to see their interpretation as if they are some separate thing, and we do not have those abilities. Because at that point, we really don't think we do. We are very much identified with being humans in a body, in a world situation, with a personality, and likes and dislikes. And as I was saying before, I'm never upset for the reason I think. It's because I'm in an upset world is what I think I'm in. So that's what I'm always upset about. But okay, so to go on with the next step, we talked about that. So guidance actually appears to be seeing what's next in a written script. So the world is playing like a movie, and then, or you could say it's like a novel, and you would take several different novels off the shelf, and this one happens to be Sue-Ann. You take it off the shelf, and you're in chapter 8, but you're kind of wondering what's in chapter 9. So I had wondered in the mind, what is it? So this is a deep kind of prayer that you do. You wonder in your mind, what is it that I'm seeing? If I'm not being guided and things are not unfolding with my decisions that I thought I was doing in the mind, which is said to do in the Course, is you're going to be choosing again. I thought I was going to choose again to listen to Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit was going to give me guidance to tell me like what job to take, or what to say to my husband, or what book to read, that I thought I was going to, or how to help people. We were talking about that with someone today. I'm going to get guidance of how to help someone, some brother that comes to me, and what am I going to do? So instead of realizing that, like, if that is not unfolding in like real time and it's already done, then what is it that is occurring? And it suddenly became an aha moment, again, that it's already there. And then I wondered why I would want to know what is already has happened, that appears as if it's about to happen. And that I realized that it had to do with my own fear. So the fear of the character is the one who has all these questions and wants all this guidance and is just deathly afraid of what the next thing is going to happen. Mainly because we made this place like, a haunted house. So we would say very mesmerized by it, and a haunted house with no exits. So that's kind of what we made. So in that, we're always afraid of the next step. So we desperately want this guidance, and we think that it's unfolding, in real time, such that, like, if I make bad choices, then bad things will happen to me. If I make good choices, good things will happen to me in the world. So what if the whole thing was already filmed and you're just watching it in a theater? Nothing can be changed on the script whatsoever. So again, if you still wanted to know what was going to be next, and you had a peek at the next 5 minutes of it in the movie, let's say, then there is still that fear factor of, I'm afraid of what's going to come next. So then you wonder, well, why am I afraid of what's going to come next? Like, who is afraid? Who can be afraid? And this, again, gets you to stay in your mind where you belong, and begin to see what this character is and get a separation from the character. So you begin to realize that I'm not this character that is very afraid. It's part of the story too, right? So all these awarenesses begin to come to you just naturally with this contemplative mind, this looking, waiting, judging not. When you're waiting, it's actually like questioning in a way, like, what am I seeing, And then this judging not is not giving yourself an answer. So what begins to happen is you go like, okay, well, if there was this fear of what was going to be next, do I need that? Does that belong to me as God, or does it belong to a world, which of course is always constantly changing? But does it belong to this changeless me who is always aware of all these experiences, but is not in the story? we can get a whole other videos about how we're not in the story and how we live as this thing that is not in the story. So if the one who is completely safe, it would be like as if saying, I need to see what's in the next 5 minutes of the movie because someone's going to get shot and I'm going to feel like I'm hurt. But I'm like, wait a minute, but I'm sitting in the theater in the seats. How am I possibly going to get shot, when someone pulls out a gun or a knife or something on a screen? Like, how is that possibly going to happen? So these types of ahas come to you and they become what you are. And you literally begin to live in another place that is not in the story. So eventually, even the need to have any guidance, to have any secret knowledge, what we call secret knowledge of what is going to be happening next in the next day, the next month, the next, all that even drops away because you realize there's just nothing to be afraid of. And I know, the Jesus voice in the Course talks about this, the deep peace that comes from not having any guilt. And as I always say, the character is desperately guilty. You don't change the character whatsoever. It has nothing to do with you. The character is guilty, it's late, it never is in the right place, always saying the wrong things. Nobody likes it, some people like it. And the people that like it, you don't care about, and on and on and on. There's just tons of problems. And that's the way it was made. So it is just something that is watched, and now it appears to be a very happy dream because you're not in it. I love that beautiful line in the Course that says, how can he have joy in a joyless place unless he knew he was not there? So that is literally what begins to happen to you. And so probably for 5 years now, I've been talking about these experiences, and then these experiences harken back to the book. And then you see that in the Course in Miracles book that they then are describing this universal experience that is without words, right? But it is the best attempt at someone of putting it in words. And now you can look back at it and say, oh yeah, now I understand because I am those things, right? So that is basically a two-part of what guidance is about. Please put any questions in the comments, and you can always direct message me too. So talk to you later. Bye.